Friday's been great. I woke up in my garden, took the dogs for a walk, went for a swim. Fantastic.
OK, we've got to show this picture of you. I don't know why we're doing this. We've got to do this. We're saying, look at the torso on Sting.
And the bicep.
I know. Do you get sick of people like us showing photographs of you like that?
No, I'm very vain.
Really?
Have you ever just let yourself go?
No, I'm too vain. Yeah.
But is it hard, though, when people put you on a pedestal and go, wow, you look amazing?
No, I like being on a pedestal.
Oh, well, great.
Have you never seen the darts at Lakeside and thought, that's a look?
No.
OK.
He should be your inspiration, look.
He is my inspiration.
Right.
Can't you tell?
Yes.
Sting has been working hard on a musical labour of love about the shipyards of the North East for the past several years. Now he's finally ready to reveal it to the world, and tonight sings one of the songs live for the first time ever on the telly. Anywhere in the world.
And to make sure that Sting's voice is in perfect shape, the incredible Spicemen have brought along something to help. There they are.
There's the boys. He's a huge and sincere fan of those lads, and we'll get them together later. But now, since last Friday... Now, Sting.
Yes.
These pictures, let's just look at these pictures here, and then you can tell us how come they've inspired you, what they meant to you significantly personally, and what they've inspired you to do. Look at that, those extraordinary pictures. That's a residential street there, isn't it?
That street is where I was born and raised. And that's my first memory of seeing ships like that being built and then launched. We built the greatest, most massive ships ever built, constructed in my hometown at the end of the street.
And literally at the end of the street?
At the end of the street. Okay. I watched all the men go to work, thousands of men work there. And then it closed. And now it's just a big hole in the ground. You know, and we were so proud of those ships that the community built. And it gave us our sense of identity, and it's all gone now.
So what have you done?
Well, I thought I would try and write a play about the men who worked in that yard. It's more of an allegory, really. And to do them honour and remember the fantastic things they did.
And who's been collaborating with you then on writing this?
I've had two wonderful playwrights, one called John Logan, who actually wrote the last James Bond movie, and a bloke called Brian Yorkie.
So are you doing the music side of things?
It's my story,
right.
And I took it to professional scriptwriters to try and get a script together, but they built the script around my songs.
OK. And fans will want to know, of course, will you be starring in it?
No, I just wanted to write something for other actors, for other voices than my own, to sing. It actually freed me up. I got a bit sick of me, so I thought I'd write for other people.
But there's a couple of recognisable faces in it, one in particular.
Mr. Jimmy Nail is going to be the star of it, and I love Jimmy's voice, and he agreed to be in it, so I'm thrilled.
Great. Can you sum up for us then what the actual story is? What's the plot of this musical?
The plot it's an imaginary situation where instead of allowing the yard to be closed, they occupy the yard and start to build a ship for themselves, which is a kind of quixotic, crazy idea.
OK.
But I took this to some producers in New York who loved that idea, and we're evolving it as we speak.
Now, New York, you know, it's no shy place to start. Are you really going to kick off on Broadway?
No, we're going to start somewhere else. We're going to out of town first, and that's as far as I'm thinking. If that goes well, then we'll go to New York, and if that goes well, we'll come here. I'll go back to Newcastle. But we started in Newcastle. We started the first workshop in the live theatre on the river with local actors, so we got a flavour of it there.
So this could be like the new Billy Elliot, potentially.
That would be great, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it? Oh, it'd be amazing. Do you think it's got potential?
I think it's got great potential. It's got a heart. It's got a big heart.
And tell us about how. Is it true? We've just got a paper in London called the Evening Standard. It's just come in now. There's a story in there that you either did or didn't say about you seeing the Queen Mum launch a ship, and you had this whole dichotomy.
You know, we would go and watch the ships being launched, and often members of the royal family would come down my street in Rolls Royces, and I was standing there with my mum with a Union Jack, waving it, and the Queen Mother actually looked at me. I promise she did, and she waved at me. And I thought, I actually want that. I want to be in that car. I don't want to be stood here on the street. So it infected me with the idea of doing something different.
Okay.
So, thank you, Queen Mum.
But is that because it suggests it alludes to the fact that you wanted a bit of that? You know, you wanted a bit of what she had.
I did.
Okay.
Fame.
So
Wealth.
Rolls Royce.
Yeah. Well, not Rolls Royce.
Corgis. So the first part, and because the musical obviously will take shape in 2014, but there's an album out first, isn't there?
I thought I'd introduce people to the music first.
Right, good idea, because it's good to know the words when you go
people
and sing.
like something they're familiar with.
Yes.
So to bring an album up, and I'm singing on this, But I'm helped by Jimmy Nail and with Brian Johnson too, who's another Geordie. The Unthanked Sisters, they're from Geordie land. And so this will hopefully get people used to the music before it's
I'm just
Brilliant
fascinated
idea.
at those days when the whole community came together because the ship was finished and it was launched.
Yep.
Was it relief? Was it celebration? Was there some animosity there? Or?
It was both, you know, because the men were then wondering when the next order was going to come.
Yeah.
Because they were difficult times, but they were immensely proud of the work they did. Immensely.
I just can't get over that picture.
That is
Isn't that one of
such
the
an incredible
fascinating
shot. And interesting, this is all about going back to your roots, isn't it, and remembering your childhood. Is that all part of becoming a grandfather?
Yes, I am a granddad. My granddaughter is 18 months now. She has bright red hair. She's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. I had it once too. It was.
But it wasn't something I anticipated. Even though I've got 6 kids, I didn't think of myself as a grandparent until the little girl was presented to me, and I'm absolutely, completely
You look very
in love.
peaceful. I mean, you
Totally in
seem
love.
very peaceful and
Wonderful.
sparkly-eyed. Right, Sting's album, The Last Ship, is out on September the 23rd, and the musical TBC, but well underway. We're going to talk about schools. Sting, you were once a teacher for 2 years, of course, Mr.
was.
Sumner.
I was Mr. Sumner.
And in your biography, 2009 biography, you talk about a little tyke called Kevin. What was going on with Kevin?
Kevin Anderson. He was a lovely lad. Lovely lad. In fact, they were all lovely. Am I going to see them?
Maybe in a moment. Tell us what went on with Kevin specifically one day.
Kevin, I got a phone call in the staff room saying, "Oh, our Kevin's poorly, and he's not coming in today." I said, "Who's speaking?" "Me mum." I said, "Kevin, I think you better come right now." So, am I going to see him?
Well, we wondered what he looks like now.
I wonder. I'd love to find out.
Shall we find out?
Shall we find out?
Okay.
Carrie?
Carrie?
Sting, or perhaps I should say Mr. Sumner. I'm outside classroom 4B at St Paul's First School in Cramlington, and inside this room are some of your former pupils. What have you got to say? Good evening, Mr. Sumner. And this is what he looks like. This is Kevin. Great to see you, Kevin Anderson.
Oh, yeah.
Now, he just mentioned about you pretending to be your mum. How would you grade him?
As a perfect teacher, a perfect friend as well when I was at school.
And he did some good, kind stuff for you,
He did,
didn't he?
yeah. When he took us to the playhouse in Newcastle in the 70s, the times were very hard. And I had no shoes or trainers to go, and he actually bought us a pair of trainers to go.
Oh, this is very kind.
And he also bought me dinner as well.
What a kind teacher he was. Martin McKenna, how would you grade him?
He was excellent.
Was he? And you've actually got a bit of grading from him
I
here.
do. I still have my school report. Works hard and well with competitive fervour rather than a true academic spirit.
What does that mean?
So I'm not so sure. He's probably right though. Signed Mr. G.M. Sumner.
So he's got an autograph there.
Oh, yes,
Were you
the original.
competitive? Are you competitive?
He was very observant, I have to admit.
So he was good at analysing.
Certainly was.
Michelle Clark there. Now we know Sting is Mr. Cool. Was he Mr. Cool back then? How would you grade him?
Certainly was. Yeah, he was really cool. He used to teach us wearing baggy jumpers, which wasn't very conventional back then. He used to strum his guitar while he was teaching us.
What, music or?
Anything. I can't really remember, but all I remember...
any
he didn't
lesson,
teach
just
us
had a
very
bit of
much. He
guitar
used to
in?
just strum his guitar, which was brilliant.
And can I just ask, because in North London, I think we missed this, he used to wear something on his feet. What did he wear, guys?
Clogs.
Clogs? Was that, like, big up here?
No.
That was just a Sting thing.
It was.
And Julie, was there a sign back then that he was going to go on to be the legend that he was?
Well, this being a Catholic school, everybody had to do morning prayers, and you'd be like this in the morning, and everybody had to have their eyes closed. And then immediately after, because we were Mr. Sumner's class, we had to keep our eyes closed and do some neck exercises and get the yoga bit.
So you did a bit of prayers and a bit of yoga.
Yes.
So you had it all in there, exercise. Well, I think, Chris and Alex, this is a glowing report for Mr. Sting.
That was lovely, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Genuinely moved.
I'm recognising every one of them.
You got a bit glassy-eyed there,
That
Sting.
was delightful, everybody. Thank you. I'm so thrilled to see you all. I really think about you a lot. I really do. Kevin, you particularly crossed my mind a lot, and I wondered what you were doing. So it's great to see you, all of you. Fantastic.
Quite emotional.
Cheers, thank you.
Beautiful.
I didn't realise the yoga thing went all the way back to then.
Did it?
Well, I think there was a little mention of it there.
Maybe it, I told you I'd always been vain. But I did play the guitar a lot in class, and I wrote a lot of songs there while they were doing their homework, doing their maths. I would
Wow.
write a song.
The class of Sting. Round of applause again
Yeah,
for
that
those
was
guys. That was was a lovely piece, wasn't it? I say bring back This Is Your Life and Parry gets the job. Do you think so?
What's great about it all?
One of the big hit shows on TV. What have you brought in for Sting to lubricate
Well,
this
actually what?
vocal cord?
He recognised that piece of bread, cake, whatever it's called.
Stotty.
Slotty, isn't
It's
it?
Stotty cake.
Stotty.
Stotty cake from Newcastle.
Okay, I've done something different to that. What we have done there is we actually put caraway seeds in there and some ginger.
I like ginger too.
So ginger and caraway seeds. We've got a fantastic pulled pork and a spicy coleslaw. And then I know Sting grows his own beetroots as well.
That's true.
And I do think the best beetroot in the world grows in Britain. And that's a Cheltenham beet chutney. So that's chutney, ginger and cassia bark flavoured Cheltenham beet chutney.
Okay, but he's going to sing. He can't have any of that. He's going to
You can't have it now.
Okay. What's this?
Save it
Ginger
for me.
tea.
Ginger tea.
Yeah.
Can I drink that?
Yes, you
Yes,
can.
you can, yeah. Go ahead.
Very
Brewed
good for
with
your
ginger.
throat.
Before
Very
I
good
sing.
for your throat.
It's very good. Do you drink ginger tea normally?
Yes, I do.
Perfect. There you go.
Yeah,
Work.
brilliant.
And already, thank heaven they came.
Thanks,
Okay, we've got
guys.
Sting and Tony here. Thank you very much. And you can see the next episode of The Incredibles. Come and tell you anywhere in the world. Sting with a practical arrangement.
Am I asking for the moon? Is it really so implausible that you and I could soon come to some kind of arrangement? I'm not asking for the moon. I've always been a realist when it's really nothing more than a simple rearrangement with one roof above our heads, a warm house to return to. We could start with separate beds. I could sleep alone or learn to. I'm not suggesting that we find some earthly paradise forever. I mean, how often does that happen now? The answer's probably never. But if we came to an arrangement, a practical arrangement, then perhaps you'd learn to love me, given time. I'm not promising the moon, I'm not promising a rainbow, just a practical solution to a solitary life. I'd be a father to your boy, a shoulder you could lean on. How bad could it be to be my wife? With one roof above our heads, a warm house to return to. You wouldn't have to cook for me, you wouldn't have to learn to. I'm not suggesting that we find some earthly paradise forever. I've no intention of deceiving you. You're far too clever. But if we come to an arrangement, a practical arrangement, then perhaps you'd learn to love me, given time. It may not be the romance that you had in mind, but you could learn to love me, given
Thank you, Sting.
Lovely, it was so good.
Love to have you on the show.
Yeah.
The album, The Last Ship, is out on September the 23rd. That was a practical arrangement.
And on Monday, the one and only Mary Berry will be here. Have a great weekend.
Ta-da.
Bye. Thank you.
Be safe.